What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing another install video. Today we're going to be installing the White Knuckle Off Road rock sliders. Hopefully will not be a super difficult install. It seems to be mostly bolt on. There's a couple holes we do have to drill towards the end of the process, but hopefully should not be super difficult. Hopefully everything goes the way it's supposed to go. But let's go ahead and jump right in. Let's get started. Alright guys, so here are the rock sliders. As you can see, most of it is bolt on. They already have the holes and everything and mounting brackets ready to go. This is going to be the driver's side here, and then the other one's going to be passenger side. I did order it with the kick out, and I also ordered the upgraded metal for added protection. So overall weighing about 100 pounds total, 50 pounds for each side. White Knuckle sent me some hardware here. We got some brackets and stuff in here, and also bolts and whatnot. And also gave me some instructions and a sticker, which will be getting added to the vehicle as well. So here's the sticker there, and then off the Expedition 1 sticker that I still have to put on. And then they sent me some nice handy dandy instructions. My only complaint so far is the pictures are not that great. Hopefully the instructions are very detailed, and so we can figure out how to do this correctly. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the process. So step one is going to be place the jack stands underneath the rocker panel and place the slider on top of it to start getting it aligned. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to pull my instructions outside so I can close my door. And so our jack stands are set up and ready to go. Let's go ahead and place the driver's side slider in place, and we can jump right into the process here. Alright guys, so we got the rock slider in place. Now we're going to be adding some hardware to it. So the direction says they're going to take 2 back plates here and 2 of the 4-inch bolts, and we're going to be placing them in the front and the center through the frame. So let's go ahead and do that real quick, and then we will move to the next step. Alright guys, so let me show you which hole it goes in the frame. It was kind of confusing for me. So the frame has a ton of holes in it. So there is a larger hole, kind of like similar to this, but more oval. So that's where the 2 bolts go into. And then make sure you obviously put the frame on the back over here, like that. And then the frame on this side as well to hold it in place. So that is the first step. Next is going to be doing some stuff to the rear mounting bracket. So let's go ahead and take a look. All right guys, so next step is going to be taking this bolt here and this bolt with the zip tie, and we're going to be putting that on the bottom of the frame. It says to put it in the slot so that the kind of slides into the frame. So we'll do that, and then I'll show you kind of what it looks like. Hopefully this part will not be too difficult. And then everything for right now, like always, keeping it loose, so we can always go back and adjust it if needed. So let's go ahead and take care of step number 3. Alright guys, so here is the rear plate, and so here underneath the frame where the zip tie is coming out right here is where you're going to slide the backing plate into with the nut that's welded to it, and then you're just going to hand tighten it for now, and then that way we can always adjust the slider as we need to. But now it's time to go ahead and move on to the next step. Alright guys, so next step is going to take this bolt here, and we're going to push it through the bottom of the front, and it's going to mount into the frame here. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. All right guys, so I misspoke. For that last step, we're actually going to be using this guy. These are thread cutting bolts, so we'll be using that later. So this is what we're using for that last step. So lock nut and washer, and then the frame goes in between here where my fingers are, like this. So frame in between like that. Lock nut, washer, and bolt on one side, washer and bolt on the other side. All right, let's move on to the next step. All right guys, so the next step is going to be making sure that the bottom of the slider here is completely flush against the frame, because we're going to be now drilling into the frame with thread cutting bolts. So the best way to do that is take a nice little jack like this guy here and just use it to position the slider how you want. And then from there, we're going to be going on to the next step. All right guys, so I got the jack in place. Now what we're going to go do is go ahead and tighten the bolts in here just a little bit. So that way we can move on to the next step. We want the slider to be solid in place when we start drilling into the frame. So let's go ahead and tighten everything down, and then we'll move on. So next thing we're going to do is take a drill bit, and we're going to drill on the underside of, or mark where we want to drill on the other side of the frame. So on this guy here, it's going to go in here, and then on the back side, it's going to go in here as well. So we're just going to turn the drill bit back and forth to make the mark where we want it, and then we'll take it out. And then we'll go ahead and drill into the frame to create the holes that we need for the additional bolts that we're going to be putting in. And then we'll move on from there. Alright guys, so we got our markings in place. Now we're going to remove the slider altogether, so that way we can make good holes with the drill. And then once we're done, we'll go ahead and put it back on and get it situated nice and even and level, and then we'll be pretty much done. Alright guys, the next thing we're going to do is, since we removed the slider already, we got it off, now we're going to go ahead and find our markings that we made, and we're going to take our drill bits here that I have pulled out, and we're just going to go from smallest to largest and get those holes drilled, so we can then take our silver bolts over there and create some threads in there. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright guys, so we got all of our bolts drilled in as needed on the side and along the bottom. So now it's time to go ahead and take our thread cutting bolts and our impact wrench, these guys here, and we're just going to go ahead and put them into the holes to cut the threads. Once we do that, we're gonna take them all out, and then it's time to go ahead and reinstall the slider and put it into place. So let's go ahead and do that. All right guys, got the driver's side rock slider fully installed. One thing to note when you're doing this, with the back plate on this guy that you're sliding up through this hole, make sure you put this bolt in first. Otherwise the plate will block this and you'll have to undo this one and loosen it so you can move the plate out of the way. So right now I have the plate at a diagonal like that, so this hole is not blocked, so this bolt can go through. But other than that guys, once you get everything like ready to go, it's super easy to fully install this thing. Everything is completely bolt on except for the silver bolts here where you have to you know, drill them in. But other than that, it's super easy. So let's go ahead and test it out. Let's stand on it, let's bounce on it, let's see what it does. Hopefully it doesn't fail. But let's check it out real quick. There we go guys, a nice solid bounce on it. I think it looks super nice. I like the logo on there on the inside. Looks super nice. So driver's side is completed. Now we just gotta do the passenger side. So I'm gonna flip the car around and then we'll knock that one out. Alright guys, so there is the passenger side rock slider in place. Same process as before. That's why I did not talk through the process like I did with the other side, because it's the exact same, just on a different side. Super easy install guys, I really do mean that. It's a super easy install. The only issue I had was that my 20-volt batteries from my drill and my impact gun kept dying, so I had to like take a break for a little bit and let the batteries charge up so I could come back with some full juice and finish the project out. Yeah guys, I am really loving the way these things are looking so far. I think they look really clean. They hug the body nice. Does not take away any of my clearance at all whatsoever. So now we got rock sliders, so we can go ahead and tackle some more difficult trails. We got the front bumper on. If you guys saw the last video, be sure to check that out. So yeah guys. All right guys, so here is the final outro to the video. I hope you guys found this video very helpful to you guys if you guys are doing something similar to this to your Xterras. I looked all over the internet for a video on how to install these rock sliders to Xterras. Could not find a single one. So I hope this video helps you guys out if you guys are doing something similar. Again, if you have any questions, be sure to leave them down in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them to the best of my ability. And if I don't know the answer, I'll do my best to point you in the direction to someone who might know the answer. But this about does it for this video, guys. If you found this video helpful, give a thumbs up down below. Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you always get a notification when I post a new video. Peace.